What's up, guys? Admiral Nump here again, and this time I got something even more special than last time. I am in my Shimakaze on the Northern Lights map, super ship battle, so I am technically mid-tier, as each team has 3 super ships per team, and I am in the Shima. Let's do this. So, Shimakaze. This little destroyer is the Tier 10 IJN destroyer of the torpedo line. I am currently mounted the 12-kilometer range torpedoes,
島風型よ。伝送砲ちゃん、一緒
and
に行く
I
よ。
am heading towards the Delta cap. There are only 2 destroyers per team, and only 1 radar on the enemy team, being the Dmitry Donskoy. So I am feeling relatively safe on getting into the cap because I can outspot the Z-52, and the Yamagiri and I have the same detection range. I also have a Neptune behind me, so that thing's pretty good at eating destroyers. The skill you see here is the Swift and Silent skill, so I have an 8% speed advantage, which is basically a free engine boost. So the strength of the Shimakaze is definitely in its torpedoes. As you can see, each torpedo does over 23,000 damage. And it looks like, oh, this must be some kind of replay bug, because those are not the 20s. I have the 12s, but it's showing me the stats for the 20s, although that speed is for the 12s. Enemy carriers going for our battleships. And I am slipping into Delta Cap. Not spotted yet, which means I'm kind of alone in here. I don't know where the enemy destroyers are, that's why I'm getting over here. That way if I get spotted I can duck into those islands and get the heck out of Delta without getting killed. That's why I keep looking over that way, and I'm slowing down to maintain the escape route. It's always a good idea in your destroyers, especially if you're going to put cap pressure, to have an escape route in mind. So that's what I'm trying to do. The Satsuma is dropping his depth charges on me to see if he can see my AA guns firing so he can blind fire me, but I don't fall for that trick. I keep my AA guns off in the Shimakaze because being unseen is how the Shimakaze stays alive. And I noticed that the Satsuma isn't moving, although he is starting to now. So I'm going to actually head towards him and launch the torpedoes. I could launch from my current location if I had the 20s, but I don't have the 20s. I have the 12s. In randoms, I do like having the 12s a bit more than the 20s. I've tried the 20s in randoms. It just feels like they're too slow and they're too easily spotted, so they're so easy to dodge. But the 12s are a bit better in both regards. So I am going to launch these torpedoes around the edge of the island at the Satsuma. All 3 wrecks, that's 15 torpedoes. Satsuma again trying with the depth charge aircraft to spot me. But again, I'm not falling for it. He knows there was a destroyer in Delta Cap. So he's trying to find me. It's definitely a good move. The planes can't actually spot. That's why I didn't get detected. But if your AA guns fire, they can kind of get a location on you. And that Satsuma's slowing down. Island needs a couple of torpedoes, but plenty of torpedoes still get by. 6 torpedoes and 2 floods. That is 75,000 damage to the Satsuma. And I think if those torpedoes hadn't gotten eaten by the island and had actually somehow made it through, I probably would have killed them. Because those probably would have hit the bow, where there wouldn't have been any torpedo protection. But that Satsuma is now hurting because of that hit. So I'm moving up, getting closer to these battleships, because the Donskoy has been spotted. Or wait, has he been spotted yet? Well, anyway, he's not on this flank. He's more towards the middle or left flank of the map. So I don't have to worry about him. But I'm trying to sneak in and get up to that Satsuma, try to finish him off, or go after the Yamato. Go ahead and activate the engine boost. So now I
これ以上
technically
速
have
くなって
a
も知
double
らない
engine
から。
boost. So max speed is higher. Go ahead and launch some torps for Yoshi. Spread them out a bit more because that's a cruiser. She's a lot more maneuverable than a battleship. And to avoid her, I gotta go around the island the other way. Not the way I wanted to go, but that Yoshi is a very dangerous heavy cruiser to a Shimakaze. That IJN HE will rip me apart real quick. The only thing that might be more dangerous than a Yoshi is maybe the Venezia. I mean, that sap just does so much damage. There's the Satsuma, there's the Ibuki, and the Z52. I gotta play with my detection, which is 5.6 on the Shimakaze, the best detection at tier 10. My torpedoes are gonna miss the Yoshi, but I am forcing him away from me. That's what I wanted. Yep, there he is. He's dodged him. But I'm keeping him spotted. And there's the enemy Ibuki. Getting smacked around by, I think, the Brindisi's hitting him. And I'm just kind of sneaking around over here in my little ninja boat. Looking for good targets for torpedoes. And I still gotta wait over 40 seconds for the torpedoes to reload. Yeah, Shimakaze is, well, it is the oldest tier 10 destroyer in the game. She's been around since the beginning, just like Gearing and Yamato and Montana.
見てて。
These are the oldest ships around. Asked the team to finish off that Ibuki, because if he gets gone, I can go after the battleships much more effective. There's the enemy United States. They're still shooting at Ibuki, they're just not hitting her. Satsuma's taking some HE damage as well. And the threat of my destroyer is funnel the enemy team over to the left. So I launch. Looks like I'm lining up for the Yami. Oh, there goes Ibuki. I don't have a good angle in the Yami, so now I can turn away from the Yoshi and get a better angle for the Yami. The more of the ship you can see, the better the shot you can have. So since this is a 5 spread, and RNG is a thing that I hate about torpedo launches, the Yamato being more broadside is much better. So I launched 2 racks at the Yami. And I'm holding on to the 3rd rack until now. I probably still fired that too soon. My idea was, oh, if I can get a permaflood, that'd be great. But I think I still launched that too early to get a permaflood in the Yami. But that is something you can try to do. I do recommend that, especially if you have a slow and big target like a Yamato to hit. 2, 3, 4. Here comes the other rack. Am I going to get another one? Looks like one's going to hit him right up to booty. How lewd. But, again, that's just more damage I'm doing. I realize I'm quite close to the enemy ships, especially the Lepantos and the Yamagiri. I probably should have gone forward and turned around, but I put it in reverse first. Long reload on these torpedoes. But, I mean, I've had 2 good launches and I've already got 140,000 damage. I don't count the one against the Yoshi because that was more of a make him run away kind of deal, because I know the Yoshi has Hydro. And also, I'm spotting for the team, which is always a good thing to do in your destroyers. Except, I'm about to run into some trouble. Oh, I'm detected. It's the Yamagiri. Go ahead and throw out the smoke.
早く早く。
Secondaries are shooting at me. But I'm distancing myself from that Yamagiri, and here comes the rocket jets from the United States. But it does temporarily spot me.
見てて。
Go ahead and launch some torpedoes at that Lepanto. Launch some at that Lepanto. Wait for the 3rd rack to load. Torpedoes from Yamagiri. Go ahead and dodge those. And launch my 3rd rack at the second Lepanto again. There's a friendly battleship. Looks like the first Lepanto I fired at turned around. I think the second Lepanto is turning around as well. So I don't think those torpedoes are actually going to hit anything, which is kind of frustrating because if I had held the torpedoes a bit longer, I might have had a massive potential on another launch I could have had. But Venezia is paying some attention to me now. Obviously, that's the right call. I mean, with all these ships, especially that cluster. I mean, look, Yoshi, Venezia, 2 Lepantos, and that hurt. But if I had fired my racks at that cluster, who knows how many torpedoes I would have hit. But didn't see the cluster happening early enough for me to hold the torpedoes against the Lepantos. But it's alright. 30 seconds, 35 seconds until I'm reloaded with more torpedoes. And with my battleships coming out of Delta, these battleships are going to want to be bow in. Same thing with the cruisers, which that's just why I'm running south. Because if they're bow in to the enemy, if you look here on the intermap, if they're facing this way, and I'm down here, I'm going to have the broadsides. So that's the reason why I'm sailing south as fast as I can. I'll go ahead and launch 1 rack at this Lepanto. 1 rack at the Venezia. I see that Lepanto is turning. So I fire another rack where I think he might be going. I caught the Venezia, 2 torps, but the Yoshi's torpedo kills him, so I don't get credit for that kill. I kind of got robbed there. And I put 3 torpedoes in that Lepanto, and I'm already over 211,000 damage. I don't know what exactly spotted me there, but it did. So I'm running away from the Lepanto. And with this, I've already broken my Shimakaze damage record. Haven't had a whole lot of luck with the Shimakaze. I actually, before this battle, had done more damage with the Kamikaze and Fujin at tier 5 than I did with the Shimakaze at tier 10. Looks like my torpedoes barely missed the United States, which that would have been funny if I would have actually hit the United States with a torpedo. That would have been really funny. It is always funny when you launch torpedoes at one ship, miss him, and hit another ship. But the battle, it's definitely a nail-biter. I mean, both ships are down 6 boats. They don't have any destroyers left. They have 1 cruiser. But most they have are battleships. I'm heading north towards where the Kerr First and Soyuz are. Try to help them against this Lepanto and Yamato. Torpedoes are ready. Launch the first rack for Yami. Second rack for Lepanto. Lepanto does go undetected, and I launch my third rack for that other Lepanto. United States kills our Prince Rupert. I'm turning away because I don't know if that Lepanto is actually turning, because if he comes south, I'm going to run right into him, and I don't want to run into him when his smoke goes away. So that's why I'm turning away. Yamato just got hit with some torpedoes. He's flooding. Just got hit again with some main batteries. Some secondaries just hit him. However, it is going to be my torpedo that finishes him off. So Yamato is down. My first kill after 200,000 damage. But however, he's not the only one going down. Double strike, I got the Lepanto. And I'm not done yet. I get a torpedo in that Lepanto. So now I'm over 254,000 damage. So I'm now steaming back towards the enemy, chasing down what's remaining of the enemy team. That double strike pretty much clinched the game for us. The Kurfürst and Soyuz are now freed up. The enemy team is all down in the IJ line in the bottom left corner of the map. I'm heading towards them, so are pretty much my entire team. Getting torpedoes ready, looking for that Lepanto, but I notice he is turning. A lot of torpedo launching is predicting where your enemy ships are going to be. Yeah, the lead indicator is great to have, but that's only showing where they are if they maintain current course and speed. They vary that anyway. That indication is not good to have, or not going to be accurate. So I'm expecting the Lepanto to go around the island, which is why I launched the first 2 racks the way I do. And in case I'm wrong, I hold the 3rd rack to see what he's going to do. And the United States is sailing out. I think he's seen the writing on the wall and is just ending the match. Yeah, my team's got this pretty much in hand. I launched the 3rd rack in case the Lepanto decides to go a bit wide around the island. And it looks like he's only going to eat 1. That's the problem with launching torpedoes at ships that are not broadside, is you only normally get 1 hit. And so I put it in the rear. Causes a flood, 14,000 damage. Takes me up to 268,000 damage. Enemy United States goes down to our Kurfürst. And I decide this match is over. I want to get a little bit extra damage. Push me over 270, which it does. So yeah, the reason why I showed this to you guys is that I didn't kill many ships. I only killed 2, and that was the double strike. But this is my now new in-game damage record. The Venezia has been toppled. The new random battles damage record for me is in the Shimakaze. Quite fitting after the most kills I've had is in another IJN destroyer. So, yeah, I ended up obviously top of the team with 2,500 base XP. And funny enough, I was actually doing naval battles for this, and the requirement was 850 base XP. I pretty much tripled it, just short of tripling it. That happens more often than you would believe. On either I need a bare minimum XP number, and I'll overshoot it by multiple times over. But if you don't have a sense of humor, you shouldn't be playing World of Warships. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this special video of mine, and I'll catch you guys next time.